Somebody also asked three kind of compassions, right? We can talk next time. There are three different kind of compassion, and Buddhism, especially advanced Mahayana and Vajrayana, talks about compassion. Has a different kinds, different flavors. It's not a hierarchy, but like a progressive, getting nuanced and subtler.
I wanted to just add like to the question of this one. So I've always struggled with saying no to people because I've always struggled to set boundaries for myself. I always used to think that I did this, like I had this narrative in my head that, oh, I'm just giving my that's more compassionate. That's the more compassionate thing to do, is to just keep giving and giving and giving. But the more I think about it, the more like, and this part of this conversation as well, there's an idea of self-compassion. The thing that I always worry about is that I unskillfully say no. That's always my worry. I have like an immediate reaction to that inside of me. Has lots of like concepts attached to it, but it's just this idea that somebody might need you one day and you weren't fully present with the situation to realize, and so you said no accidentally. It's an irrational fear at this level, really. I was wondering if you could say a bit more about this idea of like, because you right at the start of your answer, you mentioned the idea of having boundaries. And so I was just curious about that.
Yeah, but I said this five dakinis, one dakini, the karma dakini can say it's coming from more spontaneous places, not thinking too much. If I say this, I hurt their feeling. Or dakini does not have that sort of conceptual thing. It's more spontaneous. Then how can we allow that the spontaneous response come from the deeper part of ourselves? Practice. Practice comes in. As I said, we are compassionate being, but all are tangled up with concept and all the social conditions and what's not.
I would like to ask something in relation to this about like compassion, right? I think I take on the emotions of other people. I don't really like it. I suppose like the compassionate thing would be to maybe digest their emotions maybe for them or something. But then, for example, with my mom really stressed right now, I see like the more time I spend with her, the more I feel her emotions, and then sometimes I start to mimic her behavior in a way, but I don't really want to do that, right? I don't like it because I think I already have emotions that I need to deal with. Do you have any
I kind of understood what your situation is. Compassion, like a passion and like a feeling together kind of thing. If somebody is really suffering, somebody close to us suffering, then we also feel that. That's natural, right? Natural thing. But here in the Buddhist context, the idea is that without any strings attached or without any attachment, see if we can suffer together. So that's the thing. We should cry if somebody crying. That's a human being, natural. Buddhism does not deny that the human emotion, if somebody grieving, the real response is to grieve together, but without attachment or disappointment or any expectation or outcome. Just allow the true human natures come alive. Sometimes in Buddhism, say, oh, that's karma, or I'm not, I don't want to be emotional or something like that. So that's not the right attitude. Again, the glimpse into emptiness is good. This apparent existence, like a little bit of the illusionary nature of the phenomena. Also, this emotion is a come and go, never stayed. Maybe that person might cry, but next moment he or she might laugh. We don't know. So we should not attach to it.
but why does it take a long, I don't like that it takes a long time to clear,
Yeah, I don't like that.
yeah.
Quick. Make me feel
Yeah,
good, better.
or like a couple of hours, and then, well, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes it feels very sticky.
Yeah, work with the five dakinis, practice. Yeah, emotions. In tantric practice, those emotions are just energy. Then we kind of name it anger. We name it grief, or we name it desire. Emotion is energies, in a way, the expression of Buddha nature, but then it's stuck energies. So we need to bring that like a more less self, less egoistic things involved. That practice I'm talking about is called 5 Dakini practice, for example. Again, Buddhism, wisdom and compassion always go together, right? Two wings of the bird. In order for a bird to fly, a bird needs 2 wings. Compassion always needs wisdom. So wisdom also needs compassion. Without compassion, actually compassion encourage or enhance the wisdom. Wisdom of emptiness. The wisdom of emptiness enhance the compassion, real meaning of the compassion. Maybe next week we can talk about objectless compassion. Mimetsewe. Yeah, this no object, but more spontaneous compassion, innate compassion. Allow the innate compassion to come out. That's the important part. Otherwise, so exhausted, only compassion. Like, those volunteers, go somewhere and try to help. Of course, such a holy things to do, to help others with compassion. But that compassion, if not supported, backing up by the wisdom, sooner or later, you are so exhausted and then give up completely. So have to have a little wisdom flavors to sustain.
What this is bringing up for me is the tantric idea of turning poison into medicine. I'll practice when there's strong emotions and stuff, like things that come into existence will also pass away. Everything's transitory. Sitting in it and letting it release naturally. But I was wondering, Khandro, do you have any advice on how in the moment, dealing with strong emotions, turning that poison into medicine, not just letting it pass, but really using the moment to the best of its potential to actually turn it into medicine, to actually transmute that?
That's a big subject. Itself is a very juicy subject. But just one thing I said, like one method, just look at it. Look at it. If the strong emotion comes, just sit with it. Look. See if you can see the true nature of that strong emotion. I was talking about the just energy, right? Then we might name like a strong desire or hatred or something like that, but that's just a name. But in the tantric approach, just look at it and sit with it. See if you can see the emptiness of that strong desire, for example. In a sense, that's the opportunity to look at, especially those strong emotions. One of the technique is purposely we bring up that strong emotions because that has a juice in it. Then we look at, so it has an opportunity. In Gelu tradition, we have, for example, Madhyamika. First thing we need to do is this gakcha, the object of negation, even the visceral feeling of this self. What do you take to be the self? What do you feel like a self-existing self? That sort of thing. Bringing up that strong emotion or strong emotion comes, that's opportunity. Sit and look at it. See if you can see the emptiness of that self-existing, that whatever you sort of occupied your entire life.